I don't think it was ours.
How's my hair, John?
You ready?
Yep.
Is this live?
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Houston Outlaws press conference after we face the LA Gladiators. We're here to answer some of your questions, and let's see what you got for us.
All right, the first question is, has the curse been lifted on Route 66?
I think so.
Yeah.
We've been playing a lot better on that map, both in scrims and in matches. We have a lot more plans headed in. We've done a lot more work on it. We understand what everyone needs to do. I think that was a big part of that. We skipped that step in stage 2. We readdressed that step now. And even if our route looked shaky in the beginning, we've addressed it, moved on, got some plans, got some stuff going for us. Feels good.
We're all about breaking curses this stage. Leo's curse, the route
That's
curse.
true.
Who is the player or coach who keeps the mood alive when you guys are down 2-0 like today?
It could really be like a collection of people. I know Mumma puts a lot of work into, he likes to assure us that it's like still a winnable game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams, when they go down 2-0, they kind of like think that the game is over. You know, they have to work so much harder. They have to win 3 straight to actually win the series. But it's like extremely doable, you know, just because you're down 2-0 doesn't mean anything. They won 2 in a row. You can win 2 in a row. The tiebreaker honestly is up in the air so many times.
Just who plays better that
it's
map.
It's a tense situation for everybody involved, so it could really go either way.
Yeah.
All right, the next question is, was the Torb pick something you guys have been working on, or did you guys pick it all of a sudden?
We actually adopted the strat after seeing my boy Mangachu run it. We saw it, we thought about how it would be effective and how it wouldn't, saw some examples. Something that we always had in the back of our head that we could pull out at any point in time. And it was just a good time to pull it out then and there. So we ended up doing it.
It was actually a while ago. We didn't come up with it, but we tried to implement it. It was when Raucus and Jake were in New York doing that interview.
Actually.
We were running like our sub squad and stuff, and we were just like messing around in scrims. We were like, why don't we just try like Torbjorn? I think it was Spree. Spree went Torbjorn on Noon Bunny second in a scrim.
We planned to do it.
We planned it, but
Spree was the OG Torb on this
Torbjorn,
team.
and it worked like extremely well. It was like, this is so stupid.
We capped like instantly after switching Torb, and we know that it's not going to be the case every time, but we saw that it could work against Overwatch League teams, so we were always ready to bring it out.
Yeah.
Are you guys flustered about the Gladiators constantly changing team comps?
Not really. I think the thing is a lot of those comps are run on those points and all the time in scrims and stuff. And like, I think the way that we address, or at least I think we do, is we take it one map at a time. We've seen these comps in scrims, stuff like that. So generally, it's not getting used to playing against a comp. It's playing against a comp on a map. And since they've been changing comps it just doesn't feel like they're changing comps because we're used to those comps on those maps already, so we know how to play against them on those specific maps.
Yeah, they ran like a lot of what we expected to, honestly, this entire time. I think the only thing that threw us off was when they ran Widow on Lighthouse on Ilios.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, they countered us hard, and we were like, okay, well, you know, on to the next one. We really couldn't have won that one. They played it really well, so that was really the only surprise for any of us.
Yeah, for sure. They just thought that we couldn't run anything other than Clockfarah, and then we ended up pulling out a different strat on and worked out. So.
All right, the next question is, was staying in the corner as Tracer planned?
It was more of it was like Jake didn't need to do anything in that moment, and if he did anything, it would have jeopardized him and his hiding spot and getting something done. So it was actually like a better play to stay there hidden and wait until the moment was right.
The more you like play Overwatch, when you get to like the top level, you realize there are a lot of like zones where you pretty much can't attack, and there are zones where you should attack. So if like the card is like pushing through a place where you normally would never engage anyway, you can afford to like sit behind, save your cooldowns, and like wait for an actual opportune moment to go for a pick. Because otherwise, you're pretty much fighting in a place where your team can't win or can't help you or anything. So we tend to set up zones, like every other team does the same thing. They just set up zones. It's like we attack the card here, we attack the card here. So he was just setting up for when the card normally passes the threshold for when we usually engage.
Yep.
All right, the next question is, how did you balance school while still trying to be a professional Overwatch player, and what would you say to aspiring Overwatch League professionals?
We're both out of school.
Well,
right.
I mean, did you play TF2 while in school?
Yeah.
So we've like experienced it. Obviously, it's a little bit different because different game and different time allocations needed. The biggest thing is just to get your obligations done. Make sure that you get everything you needed done for school, because the likelihood of that mattering versus being good at a video game mattering are so much more favored towards the school selections. You want to make sure you're doing your work there. And generally, I don't think people really want to hear this, but in order to succeed in this lifestyle, you're going to have to sacrifice something else. So you can't sacrifice school. So odds are you're going to have to find something else to sacrifice so that you can spend more time playing this game, focusing on your game plan. And when you have limited amount of time, you have to make sure you use it all, like you have to use it optimally. You have to make sure you're always practicing well, practicing right, and making sure that you really allocate that time well.
All right, the next question is, if Jake can play Torb, when will Mumma play Sim?
You know, I keep telling Mumma to just play Sim, but he just decides not to. I don't know. That's going to be the question that goes up with him. I think everyone else has been telling him to actually just play Sim, and he just won't do it for some reason. I don't know. I think maybe he lost a little bit of confidence. I'm not sure. We're just going to have to ask him for it.
What do you guys feel like you need to do to prevent snowballs on 2CP?
Snowballs.
It's a lot about the first fight or the fight that you end up losing, where they cap first. If you can create a situation in which you have an ult advantage, it's a lot easier to not get snowballed. But if you lose the first fight bad, odds are they're going to have ult advantage. They're going to get their key ults before you, and that's when the snowball gets really dangerous. So it's all about trying to maintain the ults well and not waste them on the first point if they're going to end up capping anyway. So I'd say that's like the biggest thing that you can do is just try to have an ult advantage on the first fight that they attack second.
Yeah. You kind of have to make a play, honestly. If they have like a huge amount of ults and you have like none because you got like swept on the first point, you really have to make a play. You kind of have to hope that you get something off, you land a pulse bomb, you zone someone out or something. Because, I mean, in theory, it really should go to the team that is heavily ult advantage.
Yes.
So, you know, it's really just about like making a play, like stepping up, knowing what ult is coming up first. If you have a tank ult that's coming up first, you can play around that, and then you can use that to solve a point. It's a lot of different things you can do, but you're definitely disadvantaged. So.
Definitely. The other thing you can do is like make the fight last as long as possible so that you end up getting your ults late in the fight. And usually if their ults aren't going on and then you get your ults, you can try and pull it back. That's like one other small thing you could try and do. It's just not die instantly, which
you
should be trying to anyway.
You can go May and headshot 3 people like Jonak. And, win
It's crazy.
All right, guys, it's a wrap for us. Like, comment, and subscribe, and check out Focus this coming Wednesday.
Ciao.